Hi, this is Paul Castiglia, and you're listening to Fowl Players Radio, the one-stop shop for all your pop culture needs.
Hello, this is John Piet,
Kevin Schmidt,
and Jerry Bozick.
And we're August, a little band from Virginia. You can hear our story, other stories from the legendary Baltimore, D.C. music scene, and much, much more with Michael Spedden on Fowl Players Radio. You can find it at www.fowlplayersradio.com, on YouTube, and wherever you find podcasts online. Keep rocking.
Hey folks, Michael Spedden here, and welcome to another episode of Fowl Players Radio. If you're looking at me right now, A, you will see that I have a face for radio, and B, you're probably watching me on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like us. Give us a nice review and a nice thumbs up. Also, make sure that you sign up for the alerts, because whenever we release a new episode, you'll know about it, and you'll be able to tune in and watch and join the party with everybody else. If you prefer to listen, we also have our audio version you can listen to on Apple and Stitcher and Spotify and all the other ones out there that you can subscribe to wherever you find podcasts online. So make sure you do that as well if you prefer not to look at my face for radio. We have some great episodes coming up, and we've released some great ones. We hope you're enjoying your summer here with Fowl Players Radio. Coming up in a few minutes, we have Johnny Laing. Very interesting story here. Johnny and I grew up in the same neighborhood down in Dundalk. That's why they call the greater metropolitan area Small-timore. It seems like I'm always running into somebody from the old neighborhood who's in the arts and performing and doing great things. And I got together with Johnny, and we grew up a couple of blocks away from each other. It turns out that he's into acting and filming. And he just released a movie called The Baltimore Bomb on Fatherson Productions. The website is fathersonproductions.co, and you can watch The Baltimore Bomb there if you become a Patreon subscriber and pledge as little as $1. You'll get a chance to see the movie. It's about a 37-minute long movie, and it's very well done. It's very well done, and it was a great time talking to John about how it was put together. We recognized a lot of our old neighborhood because that's where it was filmed, down in good old Dundalk, Maryland. So make sure you give it a shot and check it out and support local indie filmmakers. The Fowl Players of Perryville will be performing again on Western Maryland Scenic Railroad on August the 13th, September the 10th, October 8th, and October 29th so far. So make sure you go to either fowlplayersofperryville.com or www.wmsr.com to get tickets for these shows. They are selling out pretty quickly, but it's well worth it. You have a nice train ride, a good show, and one hell of a good meal. So make sure you check it out, and also check out our episodes again on YouTube and at www.fowlplayersradio.com. We'll be right back with Johnny Laing.
This is A.D. Adams, and you are tuned in to Fowl Players Radio with your host, Michael Spedden.
Yeah, hi, this is David Simmons from DC Star, and I am just encouraging all of you to tune in to Michael Spedden's show on Fowl Players Radio and love the rock and roll of the past and the art of the future.
Hi, this is Bud Becker, and you're listening to Fowl Players Radio.
Hello, folks. I'm here with Rebecca Jessup from the Havre de Grace Arts Collective. Rebecca, tell us about all the events that you have coming up for August.
We have a lot going on. The majority of them are going to be at the Opera House, which is in Havre de Grace, but here is the lowdown. So at the beginning on the first weekend in August, August 5th and 6th and 7th, we have something called the Havre de Grace Mosaic Project. And this is an immersive presentation in our black box where folks can come in, have images all around them, and it talks about the years in Havre de Grace from 1900 to 1925. And in the future, there'll be additional ones for additional decades. Also, we are celebrating our 5th anniversary in the first weekend. So on August the 6th, we will be having our Big Hair Birthday Bash with the Flips, the Ultimate Journey Tribute Band. You don't want to miss that. That's going to be really big fun. And we're going to have throwback prices for wine and beer. On Friday, August 12th, we have the Eric Bird Trio. It's going a little bit different from Journey to the Eric Bird Trio, which is some jazz. You can sit back and just relax. And then, of course, for the kids on August the 13th, that's Saturday, we have stories, folk tales, and fables for the young and young at heart here in the fire hall, which is one of the spaces we have here at the Opera House. We have the actual theater. We have the black box, and then we have the fire hall where we have some events. So that's definitely all family oriented for the stories, folk tales, and fables. And then on August the 13th, same day in the evening, we have a rockin' band called the Revolution Heroes. You can come here and rock the night away. So for something a little different, we have a week later on August the 20th, we have the Madam Mims Experience, tarot readings for everyone. So you can come, have your tarot cards read and see what's going to go on in your life. Everyone wants to know about that. The majority of our events are at the Opera House, but this event on August the 20th, which is also Saturday, we'll be having at the new Star Center, which is previously the Havre de Grace High School, which is now a beautiful, wonderful performing arts venue. We will be having David Clark's All About Joel, Billy Joel tribute. And we expect to have a really big crowd there. It's going to be wonderful. So sit back and relax and hear all your favorite Billy Joel songs. Here's something a little bit different too. On Sunday, August 21st, you can have body paint yoga. So it's a way to express yourself using yoga and then painting with your body. So you definitely want to check that out. August 27th, we have a wonderful magician. His name is Rand Shine. His real name is Randy Shine. And we will have a master class in magic followed by a magic show right afterwards. So that'll be fun for families and kids. Though that will actually take us to the end of August. For folks wanting more information, this was a whole lot. You can find out more at www.hdgartscollective.org. Also, one thing I didn't mention is we have a great youth arts program, and all the programs are on the website. They are all free for children. It includes painting, all kinds of crafts. And that generally happens on Saturday mornings at 10. So that's what we have.
Wonderful. Folks, make sure you go check out all of these programs and all these shows that they have over there. They're really putting together some great things for us in the community. So thank you, Rebecca. And folks, make sure you go check it out.
Thank you.
And folks, welcome back to another episode of Fowl Players Radio. So again, another Dundalk reunion on the show here. I'm catching up with my old friend, Johnny Laing. Johnny just recently released, was part of the Baltimore Bomb movie that just came out. And we grew up a couple of blocks from each other. And over the years, we didn't realize that we were both into performing and acting and stuff like that. But here we are. And now he's on the show. So John, welcome. Great to see you, bud.
Man, I tell you, I really appreciate you having me on. I'm an old Dundalk boy, as you know, and and you're famous. You're famous. I'm just trying to leave a little trail, you know.
Well, you're doing you're on a damn good path right now if you keep putting out stuff like Baltimore Bomb. I really enjoyed it. I was watching the movie and I thought it was well done. I sat down and watched it, and it's a short. I guess it's somewhere between a short and a feature film. It was about
37 minutes.
Yeah, 37 minutes. But I think you told the story. I think you told the story.
One of the things that we are going to do, unfortunately, look, to be honest with you, man, we did this in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
We begged, barred, and stealed, or stole, stealed. We stole. Yeah, that's not even a Dundalk education. But anyway, so, we were lucky to have people that allow us to film in certain locations. Truth of the matter is, we used a DSLR. So we used a photography camera, and we're, when we started trying to say, well, let's at least see if we can get this on some streaming sites, people were interested and they enjoyed it, but the format was wrong.
Right.
So, which, listen, I had no clue. So now, that being said, we're repackaging, we're refilming the first. It'll be with now we have a couple of cinematic cameras that we can use, and we're going to film all 6 episodes as a series, and we're going to shop it that way.
Yeah, sure. Why not? That's great. Yeah, I would say it's a good idea. Just go for it. Get all 6 episodes in and everything. It can end up being like, what they call like a limited series or something. You could sell it to a streaming service, just like, Stranger Things or one of those other shows. And yeah, that's great. So I recognize, being a native, I kind of recognized a lot of the scenes, kind of like when we were younger watching Homicide or The Diner or something like that. I was kind of watching and recognizing a lot of the background there. I saw a little bit of
you knew let me tell you something. You had your feet and ass on every spot we filmed, I promise you.
I know.
It was all Dundalk and St. Helena, and but for what we wanted, and we guerrilla filmed everything. I mean, we don't have, the only money that we had was whatever couple of dollars that I had in my pocket, or whatever the wife released to me, because she is in support of it. And if I said, hey, I need this for this, and we could spare it, she spared it.
Sure.
So this was super low budget. But that being said, we have a great cast, man, a great crew. Our editor, Jay Roberts, he is, well, I'm going to tell you, he can turn a pile of crap into gold. So we really have a great crew, and the actors, they and some came, we had an actor come, and then nobody got paid. This is true backyard filming. But we actually got some actors to travel, and 2 of them are pretty active. Santa Dave Saunders, I don't know if you know Santa Dave, but he was in a movie. He's signed a contract with Hallmark. He's a Santa impersonator.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So he just signed the contract. So he did All I Want for Christmas this past holiday season.
Oh,
Hallmark.
sure.
And like, wow, he's shooting another one now. So he has like a 3-movie deal or whatever. No big deal, you understand. But to me, that's a big deal. People, like, that to me is amazing. He lives up in New Jersey. Bobby Heisler, another guy that has a lot of commercial and that kind of acting stuff, or crime scene.
Yeah, I've done quite a bit of those sort of shows. I know what you mean, like ID Discovery or something like that. The crime reenactment shows whenever there's a murder or something like that. And they show step by step what happened, and there's all kinds of shows like that on, like, the Headline News Channel has a lot of them too, as well as ID Discovery, and I've done a bunch of those myself. Unfortunately, the ones I did, they blur you out, or they shoot you from the neck down or from behind. So, but yeah, they're good. I enjoy them nonetheless, and they're fun shoots.
Well, to me, I mean, my goal in life, I mean, I did act in the Baltimore Bomb, and I'm acting in a bunch of more independent films coming up, and I'm very excited about it. But to me, it's not about that. It's about, I want to get these stories out. And like the Night Shift movie, which we are in the process of looking for some sites to film it. Matter of fact, we have a meeting this coming up Friday, 10 a.m. to hopefully be able to film some of the scenes in the old Fort Howard Hospital. So like we're really, yes, I'm very, Mike, I am so excited about this. If this, and they are interested enough to at least hear what we have to say, see, what we're going to do about it. And that to me is uber exciting. Even if we don't get it, just the fact that, they gave a damn enough just to even give it a try. So anyway, we have a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, you're gonna have you're gonna have to come on and get in some of this stuff with me.
Sure. Just let me know. I have to let my manager know, but sure, yeah. Absolutely.
We have a lot of fun stuff going on. I don't want to say too much about certain projects. Now, back Baltimore Bomb, very excited. We're extending the episode to an hour, and then every episode after will be an hour. But there's this one, and we're about to film the Night Shift movie, which is a horror movie, and it is a good movie. I read the script. I'm in it. Jay Roberts and my son have written the script for that. It was Jay Roberts' idea, the guy that lives over in England that does our editing. But there's one project that is in the works right now, and my son are writing it, and I don't want to say too much, but it's a spoof comedy.
Okay.
A spoof comedy about shuffleboard.
Okay.
Not shuffleboard.
Yeah, shuffleboard with the yeah.
Right. And I think that, I don't know, is that just a local thing? It doesn't seem like that I've seen them anywhere else in my travels in my life except for in Baltimore.
Yeah. You could be very right about that, because I've never heard of that anywhere else. I've never seen that like anywhere in my travels. It's kind of like people from out of town, you say shuffle bowl in front of them, they've never heard it. Just like nobody knows what a bull roast is around, except for people around us too.
Isn't that weird? It's like,
yeah, it is. It is.
I have traveled out west and south and all that kind of stuff, but nobody knows anything about pit beef.
Yeah, or duck pin bowling.
That's another local thing, and I think that's kind of where this whole idea started building. And then it's like, okay, well, what if we add, the pageantry of 1980s professional wrestling with shuffle and make it, so, but we have a lot of things going on. That's something that we're going to be filming toward the end of the summer. But that's it, man. I'm right now, I'm just we had a great premiere for the Baltimore Bomb, 210 people, which was amazing.
Congratulations. That's a good turnout.
Shocked the total crap out of me. But they, it was amazing to see it all come together. It was, I couldn't believe it. I would have never believed it.
Right. And you had it over at Battle Grove? We
did.
Oh, wow. And you fit 210 people in there, huh?
We did.
Wow.
We had to borrow, thank you, Dundalk Athletic Club, for lending us tables and chairs. We appreciate it. But we did. And also some great people in the community donated their money and their product to help us. Pollock Johnny's down in Edgemere.
Oh.
Donated all the food.
Oh, great. Hey.
And Tim Baker and Phase 4 Liquors over in Dundalk donated a crap load of liquor for us to raffle off. And of course, Starlight Coin and Pawn, Jim Mills. Those people, those three businesses there, man, they believed in they read our story, believed in it. And then as it started to develop, their love built.
Oh, great. Well, hey, there's nothing wrong with, that's a great thing that the community got involved and supported you on this. You definitely need more of that. And you're starting to see things like that pop up around town and other areas, But I think it's wonderful that, a lot of people came out and you really put Dundalk on the map. I don't think anybody's really done much around there. I remember when they were filming the diner there, right?
Yeah, gosh, that was years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were in middle school at the time.
We're not at that level.
Well, sure, but you did.
I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, and I promise your listeners and everyone that came and supported, when they see the new version, it's going to be a whole new ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know now. We know a little bit more now. You know what I mean? We have,
yeah.
It took us 9 months to film this thing, and we had to call. I knew that we were okay when we had the callbacks, and the guys came back from Brooklyn, New York, and New Jersey, and Pennsylvania to make it happen. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, to join the cast and to join the production and everything. Sure.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So, but anyway, it was it was awesome. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. I just knew I was filming and acting the best I could, and doing the best I could as an actor. And then the guys behind the camera had to do what they had to do. I helped develop the movie, and I helped write the movie. But as far as directing and cinematography and all that, we had guys for that. My son wrote the script for it. That was another thing. We chatted on the phone. When he was in Indianapolis for hours a day for like 3 weeks. And then he came to visit, and he said, "Here's the script." And I read it, and I was like, "This is good." He said, "Well," I said, "Well, what the hell are we going to do with this?" He says, "We're going to film it." So yeah, that was the beginning of the legacy of Fatherson Productions.
Right. Well, I'm glad that this was, it got to be something you and your son got to do together. And you said that there are a couple of things in the movie, sort of like the relationship you have in the movie, that were parallel to real life. And this was something that you're, able to do together, which I think is wonderful,
It was, and we were, in the movie, The Baltimore Bomb and his son were estranged for 25 years, and that's alluded to, and he's adopted out to his ex-partner. And now my son and I were estranged for 25 years. And when we finally reconciled and reconnected, it was amazing. And then that's it. We've been inseparable almost ever since.
Well, great. That's just, that's a wonderful thing right there. I'm really happy for you that ended up working that way for you,
That's something that you don't see much in life. You don't see those kind of wins very much, but we enjoyed it. And then now we've just been developing stories. We're also involved with Stroman Entertainment. Derek Stroman. I don't know if you know Derek or not. And of course, JR Graphics, which is Jay Roberts. He edits all of our movies and short films and skits, and he does all of our artwork and all that. And but he also has some things that he's been writing, and we've all been developing together, such as Night Shift.
Right.
So,
right.
Which is a movie. Which is a movie about a demonically possessed insane asylum patients.
Oh, hey, that sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. And I can see where that style of hospital, was that the one you said you were thinking about Fort Howard for?
Yes, sir.
That's the kind of hospital, because I've seen inside of that building, and it has the look. It's sort of like, from what I could see when I was over there, it kind of reminded me of a little bit of like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
That kind of look.
That would be perfect.
Yeah. I think that's like the era of those buildings, that were built, that like the era, the style of those buildings. And that's, kind of the era that those buildings were built in. That would be a good look. That would be a good look if you're doing a mental facility, definitely,
If we get that I mean, besides, I can't unbelievably premiering a film, that would be the biggest win ever for me, as far as any film or music videos or any of that kind of stuff. So it would be amazing, and everything we're writing is going to be Baltimore based.
Sure.
Not, so obviously we're poor. We can't afford any LA sound stages or anything. So
sure.
But I mean, we're going to Mike Waters this thing up, and we're, every story that we develop is going to be in Baltimore somewhere.
Yeah. Well, why not? And there's a lot of things you can write about around here. I mean, you had mentioned some things like corruption. You had mentioned some other things. That this one was kind of about, but there's a lot of different topics and a lot of things, and you can go back to yesteryear and a lot of events you can remember.
Oh my God! Period. You got to have money for them bad boys, though. Because you got to be able to get all the costumes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, so much history here in our area, Dundalk and Edgemere and Essex and all around the water. And that would be, there's a lot of stories to be told. To me, I'm I can see myself doing a documentary maybe here and there, but mostly I like the world to make believe. I like us to be able to make the stories the way we like to make, when the endings the way we like. You know what I mean? And I think that it's hard for me to. It's hard for me to write an unhappy ending. You know what I mean? Once we get to the back part, I gotta pass it off to the other guys, because they know I'm going for the corny happy ending.
Right. Well, this all sounds great. I mean, it sounds like everything's working out well for you and everything. And I was just really happy to hear about how the community's come forward and been so supportive of you and everything. We've had over the years, like a lot of bands, local bands and things like that everybody's kind of rallied behind and have done well. And maybe this is an omen. If people are starting to do this for you and they keep it going, it could really grow.
I mean, I don't have any delusions of grandeur. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. I mean,
but if you have good stories and you have a good script and you have people that give a damn about it, actors, crew, producers, sponsors, because we had some of those too. We had a couple of guys just see the trailer and be like, well, here, listen, I know you ain't got no money. Here's a couple $100, just to help, whatever. If you need something, I can help you. Here it is. So that's the kind of stuff that made me believe that our story was good. And we did tell the story in that small period of time, but I want to tell it better.
Sure.
And so we get another 20 minutes. We can elaborate a little more, where at the beginning, we had, for anybody, spoiler alert, sorry, that didn't see it, but at the beginning they had the different newspaper clippings and that kind of thing, but some of those things with a little bit longer of a story, and that some of that stuff has already been kind of written and then was just pushed aside just to shorten it up a little bit. I think that it would help tell round the story out a little better. And bridge a couple of small gaps that might not be that easy to see, but they're there. And so we want to kind of just nice, neat package kind of thing.
Well, good. Have you, I know you had a good cast in this movie. I was really watching, and, I didn't see a bad performance out of anybody. I hadn't, everybody I thought was very solid. You know, everybody gave a good performance. You were very believable and realistic to what you were trying to do. And I think that's definitely a feather in your cap. I mean, because you had told me, I think this was pretty much a debut for you, right?
Yes, and probably 90% of the cast.
Well, hey, you know,
and the thing is, you know, this was a friend of a friend. This was, hey, you know, we have this role. Which, Christ, we don't have anybody to, because, like I said, we you know, now if we had, to me, if money happens, I would prefer to compensate, you know, the actors, especially how awesome they are, and understanding with the reshoots and all that kind of stuff. But they were all just people that were like, and some of them I had to extra convince. You know, like, I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? And for instance, the Lamont Baker character, his name is Lamont. I thought that he was amazing. And a lot of people complimented on him on his performance. He was a guy that had to be kind of pushed into it. You know, no, I'm not doing that. And then kind of eased him in, and then he was a natural.
Right,
you know?
right.
And that's kind of the we got lucky in a lot of, not only cast and crew, but so many other things. We just got lucky in so many ways. You know, with lighting and scenes and places, and we just a lot of luck, and that's it. Really, I don't know what else to say. A lot of fucking luck.
Yeah. Well, I think the one thing too, and you were kind of alluding to this earlier, you know, how you know, this was sort of, you know, something that all of you were very new to doing. And I think, you know, for somebody who, you know, this was a good product for somebody who hasn't been doing this for a long time, or this is your first project right off the bat. And I think where you are right now with this is that you get a lot of people out there that some people are more experienced, but they get kind of set in their ways, and their minds aren't open to experimenting, trying something a little bit different, you know, thinking outside of the box, going out on a limb. Now, I mean, there are some things, you know, technical wise or whatever, you know, that are feasible or infeasible. But, you know, trying things with characters, you know, really just giving it a whirl, you know, doing some trial and error. I think you've probably learned a hell of a lot, you know, going in, and I'd be willing to bet you would probably say yes to the fact that you may have found some diamonds in the rough that you didn't even know were there.
Well, that 110%. And some of these folks, if they went out there a little bit, they would get some acting jobs. You know, I know a lot of folks here that are out here just getting acting jobs. I mean, they're there.
Yeah,
depending on what kind of time you have and where you want to go and what you want to do. But like I said, they just the cast was fantastic. But I can't sit here and without saying a few. My son James McKinney, Tim Ledard, these guys. Number one, they filmed and directed this thing together. They worked in tandem with two different directing styles, but that complemented each other, in my opinion, so amazingly. And these guys, they get each other. They get along. They know, one knows when the other's, you know what, this isn't a scene. This is your scene. You need to give me the camera, because this is the scene that you need to, this is more your forte. So those guys, and then our editor, Jay Roberts, those three right there, they made this happen.
Sure.
I don't know what else to say. These actors were amazing, and I love them all. And I'm Adam Sandler in this mother. And I'm not kidding you. I'm Adam Sandler in this mother. Everything I write, I'm going to use these people in one capacity or another. And you say about characters and about people expanding. These people are going to have to expand. They are going to have to expand, and me too. our acting, we're going to have to spread our wings because we're going to be doing characters that we may not have be comfortable with, or that we may not normally have me do. But that's what we're going to do, and we're going to live. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be other characters introduced, other people introduced, and that's the way it happens. But we're going to lift each other up together. That's it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you'll find that too. I mean, one thing you'll notice is that there are a lot of good people in all kinds of environments too. Not everybody that's on Broadway or in Hollywood was always on Broadway or in Hollywood. A lot of them started out doing these things right here. Some people got into the game later in life. I was just in a movie with somebody who actually does a lot of murder mysteries with me. We were just in a movie together, and she's fairly new to the game, and ended up getting the lead in which is going to be a pretty damn good movie when it's out, that we were both in. And there are people out there. You got to know what you're looking for, and you've got to have you kind of know what you're looking at and everything. But there are a lot of people out there that are just undiscovered, that are out there. You just got to kind of look for them, and you'll find them.
They'll never, and me being one of those people that, and I don't know that I'm any kind of talent, but what I mean is never even thought about it. You know what I mean? And there, somebody sees me post a post on Facebook and says, "Hey, we're looking for some actors for this movie," and people contact me, and they actually follow through and come and read the script and talk about it and blah blah blah. And then, these people never in their mind thought that they would be acting in a movie ever or anything,
right?
But they're the ones that are sleepers.
Well, that's the thing too, is that and I found this out when I was playing in bands and stuff like that. Whenever you had to replace somebody or find a new member, as they say, you got to kiss a lot of toads. I find that there are a lot of people out there that don't really want to be actors or musicians. They're infatuated with the idea of being one, but they're not doing the things that are necessary in order to make it happen.
Right.
I've put out casting calls before, where I asked for a headshot and a resume. And, I got 1,000,001 emails saying, "Well, I don't have a headshot." And I said, "Well, look, what do you have?" I said, you don't need a New York quality headshot. You don't need $1,000, headshot, but I want to see a headshot of you. Take it yourself. And they were incapable of doing that. I'd like to see a resume of what, I don't care if it was just the Sunday school play, the Sunday school Christmas play, or whatever, community theater, that's fine. I just want to see what you've done. And I get people that sent me, I worked at Arby's for 3 years and I worked at McDonald's for 2 more. I'm like, no. No. I mean, even when you're kind of looking through new people and everything, you do kind of have to have a certain level of professionalism, and you've got to demand that. You've got to find people out there really that are interested in the success of your project as you are too.
That's how we were lucky.
Yeah.
Everybody gave a damn. People gave a damn. They came back for reshoots and they had to drive 2.5 hours, but they still did it in the wintertime to do reshoots. I mean, and the thing is, that was mistakes on the production end of it. Why they had to come back, but they understood and they came back. And they were smiled, and everybody, and this cast became friends. And even the guys that didn't meet each other and didn't know each other, weren't on set together, they became social media friends together. And then there's this message feed of all these people, and some of them haven't even met each other. Many of them. And they're clamoring and can't wait to meet each other, and that's how that night went. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing too. I mean, you really do build a network a lot of times too. I mean, there's some people that I still, network with that I've been on projects with just once, and never again. And then there's some other people that I've run into, 3, 4 times, and never hurts to have a network. And, you want to be, and that also ties into professionalism as well. If you're on set and you're causing problems and, you end up being the headache for everybody, that's going to be remembered. You want to make sure that, you're there and on the ball, and, putting out the absolute best effort you can. You can't say enough about professionalism, willing to work, willing to go the extra mile. All those things really add up when you're networking. And, obviously there are things that are going to happen to people, things that they may, make mistakes, being new rookie mistakes, or things
absolutely
that they may not
that's
be
our
aware
whole
of.
damn crew.
Right. But I tell you what, I bet you are definitely, like I said, a year older and a year wiser going forward now, right?
A year wiser, definitely. And me and this crew, I can't say enough how great they are. And this is when these guys get a hold of this thing again. I'm excited to see where it's going to go. I know a lot of the stuff's going to be kind of the same, but it's not going to be the same.
Right.
We are, we're not going back with the same. We're not going back with the same old. We're not going to go. The only set in my mind that I believe will be the same is St. Helena Park.
Oh, sure.
Because it's just so perfect. It's an amazing view. At the end when you see the drone come behind us and go out and look over, I mean, it's we love where it sits and it views Baltimore. I mean, what is more Baltimore than the ports of Baltimore?
Oh yeah, I know. You see all those cranes and everything over there with the lights on them and stuff like that. That's kind of your Dundalk Christmas display year round,
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's going to be better. And to me, when we talked about this thing and we got some other people involved, one thing that my son and I and Tim, and I got to bring Tim into, because Tim Ledard and James McKinney, these guys were the beasts behind this. We're not doing it, or we're not. If it ain't going to be good, if we're not going to do it and make it as the best that we can, then we're not going to do it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
And that's what these guys, Jimmy and Tim, impressed upon every person involved in the project in a professional and friendly. And that's why all these people are friends and still in contact and working on new projects, and they're going to be in our next project. And, that kind of made it happen, which is a little family.
Right.
And I want to keep it that way. And I want to keep those people involved.
Sure.
And, in whatever capacity I can.
Absolutely. It's amazing how, people, kind of, families form in this. I had, with my murder mystery company, the Fowl Players of Perryville, we started off, it was actually somebody else's company and they retired, and the company split into two. I took half of it, and somebody else, Jill Redding from The Wire, ended up taking the other half of it. She was Dolores the barmaid in season 2, and we worked together all the time. We used a lot, just all the same people really, but there were people that were already working in the company that I had worked with for a while, but I had brought in some people that I did community theater with. Some folks that I was in Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat with. I brought some of them in, and of course my wife and a few other people, and we've kind of built this family now. A couple of people have moved on, but we have a good group of good solid group of people, about 15 people, we're having a great time doing these shows. And I tell you, if you're not enjoying yourself, something's wrong.
Agreed. And doing this, and right back to where from the beginning, this was supposed to be nothing more than a project between father and son.
Yeah.
That's how this thing started. And I think that's why it went to where it went. And right. I think that relationship that people that between us that they see and how we work together and how we joke together, and then that comfortability, and then next thing Tim's in and Derek's in, and this whole group of people is kind of just crowding around each other and with respect and loving each other and congratulating each other and lifting each other up. Man, that was great, and that's from the directors down.
Right,
and I don't
right.
want to say down, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Right. From director to the very last extra.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the time of the show when I like to give. We like to have shameless plugs. At this point of the show, you can shamelessly plug anything you'd like to shamelessly plug with no shamelessness spared and all shamelessness included. So go for it, John.
All right, well, I have to plug my sponsors, and that is Phase 4 Liquor, Tim Faze and Baker, love you, thank you. Warren over at Pollock Johnny's.
Oh, absolutely.
Right in Edgemere, and don't be scared to go, because you can go in and buy them and take them home and grill them. And of course, Jim Mills, Starlight Coin and Pawn up in Edgewood. He's been there 8 years, and he's amazing. And he has supported us before this. Whatever we have done, I said we need a camera, he got us a camera. I said we need lights, he got us lights. He has done everything in his power at Starlight Coin and Pawn up in Edgewood to make sure that we're successful. And I appreciate these businesses so much, and I hope that everybody, if anybody's listening to what I'm saying, please, Phase 4 Liquors over in Dundalk on Merritt Boulevard. Pollock, come on now. Pollock Johnny's is 100 freaking years old, and they're right down in Edgemere. Yep. They are here in our community, so go get some. Warren over there, and then last but not least, the one that has supported us no matter what, Jim Mills over at Starlight Coin and Pawn. Please support those businesses, and you won't be disappointed. I promise you. You're going to go, and there's going to be a crap load of liquor that you never even heard of. Trust me, over Phase 4, he gets all the crazy stuff and the regular stuff. And Pollock Johnny's, I don't know what else to say about that. Pollock Johnny's.
We grew up in Dundalk, and eating Pollock Johnny's was one of the 4 major food groups,
Exactly. Yes, it was.
It was Pollock Johnny's, Captain Harvey's. Let me see. Anything you could get from Pinland, and Mr. Tony's Snowballs down there in the alley of York Way and Liberty.
And a couple of those are still open.
Yeah. You remember Mr. Tony called Tony down the basement, and we'd all yell Tony down the basement, and he'd come out, and we would end up with like a cup full of flavoring with like a little berg of ice floating on the top of it.
Oh man.
Oh, those were the days, brother.
Different timing. You can't have some weird basement snowball stand anymore.
I know. It's a shame too. Yep. So, and again, now where can we see the Baltimore Bomb?
Well, right now, the only place you can see is if you go to our website, and that's fathersonproductions.co, CO, and then it's on our Patreon. It'll cost you $1 to see it, and it's worth $1. Trust me.
Hey, yeah, it's just like you like going to North Point movies, but staying home.
Back in the day, yes.
Exactly.
Otherwise, as I said, once we've talked to some streaming sites. but it has to be in the right format. So,
Sure.
so probably before the Baltimore Bomb series will be out there, Night Shift will be out there, because that's something that we're going to be filming. It's within a 2, because we only need 1 location. As soon as we get the location and the dates that we're able to use it, we're going to go in and knock it out, get it to Jay. Jay Rob. Oh, by the way, another plug. Shit, I'm so sorry.
Go
Jay Roberts, JR Graphics.
Mm-hmm.
If you need anything in that category, commercials, posters, cards, design-wise, and editing, and trust me, you can't beat this guy. And can't beat his prices, but not only that, his work you cannot beat. Now, when I tell you, look at that Baltimore Bomb movie, and that's from about 700,000 different clips that he had to reach in and choose and do the best he could with what pile of crap we gave him. And he did. Okay, so that's my last plug for that. But anyway, coming before anybody gets their hands on the new Baltimore Bomb business, we'll have Night Shift already out, streaming, and ready to rock and roll.
Great. Well, John, thank you for joining us tonight. It was great to catch up with you, my old neighborhood buddy, and
old Dundalk.
Good old Dundalk, man. We were in the old Dundalk too. That was the original, and that's so many memories from that place, just a great place to grow up. If I could go back, I wouldn't grow up anywhere else.
I agree. Loved it.
Yeah. So, folks, we've had Johnny Laing here, FathersonProductions.co. Check out their work, and we will see you next time on Fowl Players Radio. Thank you all for listening.
Pal, thank you, guys.
And folks, there you have it. Johnny Laing with the Baltimore Bomb, his latest film. You can find this film at FathersonProductions.co. That's FathersonProductions.co. And you'll really enjoy it. It is a nice film. It's about 37 minutes long. And they are asking for Patreon donations if you're watching it. So make sure you check out the film, show some local filmmakers some love. And we will see you next time on Fowl Players Radio, www.fowlplayersradio.com, or check us out on YouTube, www.youtube.com, and look up Fowl Players Radio on there, and you'll see all of our shows, all of our episodes listed. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and like it, and we will see you next time. Take care.